Hola, buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yo soy Fernando Diaz. I'm the Deputy Treasurer for Michael Frerichs. I'm also pleased to welcome you to the Treasurer Frerichs 8th Annual Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. Thank you for being patient as we work on some audio adjustments. Gracias por acompañarnos el día de hoy. If you're able to, please, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gracias. You may be seated. Tengo el honor y el gusto de introducir a nuestro tesorero Michael Frerichs. I have the honor and privilege to introduce our state treasurer. Treasurer Frerichs has started his third term this year, being reelected twice to the state, previously serving as a state senator. Under his leadership, bajo su liderazgo, the office invests money on behalf of the state and local units of government. Treasurer Frerichs also believes in empowering individuals with a variety of tools and herramientas so they can invest in themselves today and in the future. He does this by encouraging savings plans for college and trade school, increasing financial education, making it easier to save for retirement, and protecting residents from predatory companies. We're lucky that his family gets to share him with us. As our state treasurer, he is married to Erica, his daughter Ella, and newborn twins Theo and Max. Hay que darle una buena bienvenida a nuestro tesorero, Mike Frerichs.
Thank you, Fernando. Great. Buenas tardes. Me llamo Michael Frerichs, soy el tesorero del estado de Illinois y no hablaré en español hoy. No sabes, pero español no es mi primer idioma. No es mi segundo idioma. No es mi tercer idioma. Puedo hablar en alemán y en chino o mandarín, pero estoy aprendiendo español. Thank you for that. So, with that, for my non-Spanish speaking guests here in the audience today, we'll conduct the rest of this in English. But it really has been fun. I've got a great team that they help make this office run, but they also, in their spare time, help make sure that I can say a little bit in Spanish as well. So thank you. Gracias. But good afternoon, and thank you for joining me here today. I'm happy to be here to celebrate the many great achievements of Hispanic Americans. The theme of this year's Hispanic Heritage Month is Latinos driving prosperity, power, and progress in America. That's the theme because it's a national theme, but we want to focus on driving prosperity and progress here in the state of Illinois.
Yes.
And we think in the Treasurer's Office we play a part in that. The theme encourages us to celebrate Hispanic economic gains, influence in politics and society, and educational advancement, something you will see in our honorees here today. We know that when different voices are sitting at the table and included in key decisions, the entire community benefits, whether it's in education, government, business, or the environment. We know that with companies as well. Diversity leads to more profitability. Diversity and inclusion are essential to our mission in the Treasurer's Office. This focus directly aligns with our core values of fairness, inclusion, opportunity, and community development. And beyond this mission alignment, we strongly believe, and research backs this up, that diversity is good for business. This is not just my opinion. Yes. And that's why our office is focused on doing more business with firms owned by minorities, women, veterans, and persons with disabilities. I am the state's chief investment officer and chief banking officer. We oversee approximately $55 billion in funds. That's spread between our state funds, college savings, retirement, and money for state and local units of government. We have a special opportunity to increase our business with diverse-owned investment firms. Working with investment broker-dealers is one of the quickest and best ways to boost that participation. So part of the reason we have this speech out here in front of me is because we have a lot of numbers. It can be difficult to remember all of the numbers. Please be patient with me. If you don't have trouble digesting numbers, they're good numbers. So let me tell you how we've improved the situation. In fiscal year 2014, the year before I took office, total assets brokered with diverse-owned firms was $603 million. It's a lot of money. Yes. In fiscal year 2023, total assets brokered with diverse-owned firms was $46 billion. That's 76 times more utilization of diverse-owned firms. And this includes $15 billion brokered with Latino-owned firms. We've also put extensive effort into expanding the use of diverse-owned asset managers. Before I became treasurer, the office had just $20 million in what we call MWVD firms, minorities, women, veteran, disabled firms, $20 million. As of June of this year, we had nearly $4 billion with diverse managers. This includes more than $590 million with Latino-owned firms. So one of the key, I think they're worth clapping for, but really we have so many good numbers. Don't clap for all of them. One of the key ways we try to help create jobs and help retain technology-centered startup businesses is through our Illinois Growth and Innovation Fund. Here, too, we focus on investing money with venture capital firms led by women and people of color. Since 2016, 43% of our capital has gone to diverse-owned firms. Of the over $650 million we've invested, $281 million has gone to diverse-owned firms. And that includes nearly $55 million to Latino-owned firms and $110 million to firms with multiple minority ownership. This includes seeding the first ever Latina-led venture capital firm here in Illinois, Chingona Ventures. Yes. You like the name? It reflects her attitude.
Good pronunciation.
We are also working beyond our office to push the greater diversity and inclusion, especially in our nation's boardrooms. And I talked about this with some of the recipients earlier today. Data has shown that women occupy only 29% of board seats of Fortune 500 companies, and Hispanics occupy only 6%. That is something we are working to change. Many corporate leaders agree that diversity will benefit their operations. Our focus is to help them navigate that change. We work regionally and nationally to promote corporate board diversity with leadership roles in the Midwest Investors Diversity Initiative and the 30% Coalition, and chairing the Russell 3000 Initiative. And we are very proud of our accomplishments to date. And we will continue to help diverse groups break the glass ceiling and get more opportunities. So today we celebrate the dedication of our Hispanic and Latino neighbors to making our communities a better place to live, work, and raise a family. We honor a downtown booster, a health advocate, a school district CEO, a TV news anchor, a state lawmaker, a construction industry advocate, a baseball operations executive, and an arts organization director. Thank you for coming today to celebrate with them. So I congratulated them earlier for being chosen, for being selected, for being nominated, for being chosen. And I thank them for taking the time to be here today, because I think it's important to highlight success in a variety of different fields. If young people cannot see someone who looks like them in a certain profession, they feel like it's not open to them. We want to hold up examples of people who've had accomplishments in a variety of different areas for young people to see and to be an inspiration. So with that, let's get into honoring some of our people here today. I think, I'll be running with this? Great. First up, the Treasurer's Outstanding Service in Business Award is presented to Priscilla Cordero. Or I say Priscilla? Priscilla Cordero. Priscilla Cordero has over 20 years of experience as a small business consultant in various aspects of business endeavors in community organizations, educational institutions, and municipalities. Ms. Cordero most recently served as Business Development Manager for the Village of Tinley Park, where she was responsible for economic development and business retention efforts. For over 10 years, Ms. Cordero was associated with Acción Chicago, where she was in charge of the department providing small business microloans. Today, as executive director of the Joliet City Center Partnership, she leads a team which is committed to encouraging economic development and promoting the unique assets of downtown Joliet, as well as serving business corridors leading into the area. She is particularly passionate about helping minorities and segments of populations that have traditionally been underserved, and is most gratified seeing a project go from idea into reality. So Ms. Cordero, come up here and accept this award.
Thank you, State Treasurer. Good afternoon y buenas tardes. I don't know what's worse, going first or following these amazing people, particularly State Rep Lisa Hernandez, and then a news anchor from Univision. So we as awardees did not know, or at least I didn't, who else was being honored. So it's an even bigger honor knowing this. The focus of my remarks were just thanking everyone who has made it possible for me to do what I do. So thank you to, again, State Treasurer and his staff for a wonderful event. The nomination and award came as a big surprise, but a true honor as well. Like many of you, I go to work every day because I love my job, which is working with Latinx business owners, not because I seek accolades. But I am thankful to God for giving me a purpose of serving the Hispanic and Latinx community for the past 20 years. I thank Jaime Di Paolo, who's not here, from the Illinois Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for taking the time to nominate me. How many people do that? Jaime and I don't know each other that well, and so I was really surprised and honored that he went out of his way to do that. Thank you to my papi, an immigrant who came to this country without speaking the language, who proceeded to start his own business and showed me the sacrifices that an entrepreneur has to make. Thank you to Bob Braxton, I'm sorry, my mentor who believed in me and played a huge role in where I am today. And last but certainly not least, thank you to my husband, Keith, and my children, Alex, Daniela, and Manny, who's at school because he would have been bored out of his mind. He's 7. We are going to the Messi game tonight. The Messi game, we'll see him. We have another Argentina here. So, yeah, we'll see if he plays. But Manny gets to go to that with me. But thank you to my family who loves me and who frankly puts up with me at home so that I can come to work every day and little by little, day by day, help create a stronger community. Thank you.
So we are going to take some pictures at the end, but if everyone stays right after, we'll take a quick picture here up front with your award. If anyone would like a picture later, we'll be available. Okay, so continuing with that messy Argentine theme here, the Treasurer's Outstanding Service in Leadership Award is presented to Esther Sciammarella. Esther Sciammarella serves as Executive Director of the Chicago Hispanic Health Coalition, a nonprofit group that she helped establish in 1991 to address the need for health promotion and disease prevention in the Hispanic community. In that role, she has undertaken countless initiatives to promote health education in many critical areas, including children's health. As a father who just spent a lot of time in the NICU this summer, I can't say there's nothing more important than the health of our young people. In that role, she's contributed her expertise to a national campaign urging McDonald's to stop marketing junk food to kids. In her ongoing partnership with the National Alliance for Hispanic Health, she collaborated on the book Salud, a Latina's Guide to Total Health, Body, Mind, and Spirit. Ms. Sciammarella was born in Buenos Aires and came to the United States after completing university studies in pre-medicine and psychology. She's a graduate of Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government Hispanic Health Leadership Fellowship Program and earned a Master of Science degree in clinical psychology from the Illinois Institute of Technology. For the past 30 years, she has been a respected leader and tireless advocate for improved health education and better health practices in the Latino and Hispanic communities in Illinois. Ms. Sciammarella, please step forward to accept your award.
Thank you so much, Secretary Treasurer. I'm very honored to be here and be supporting for many people from the community. I'm a little bit dizzy, maybe ill because I have vertigo. But one of the things that I want to connect with your office is that we cannot succeed in business if we don't have a healthy community. And that's the reason that we need to educate, to create a workforce in health-related issues, support the community business, like my friend Aranda here, that we need to create and give the opportunity for the immigrant community to work a lot in healthcare service, because I think I'm praising the Governor Pritzker to nominate me to be in the Board of Health of the state of Illinois, and with Representative Hernandez working because I believe the health care is important. We need to have security and health insurance for everybody, not because you have Social Security, but because you pay taxes. You have an IT number, and I want to see that we can promote insurance through your office to be sure that people can get insurance with the tax numbers, because many people, you working, we never will see 1 penny from your Social Security that you contribute, even if you are not citizen in this country. So I'm supporting that. I want to say thank you to all my family. My husband, he was a pioneer here, developed and I need to recognize him, who was the first person who developed the tanks for the Apollo 11 and the University of Florida. My son, my youngest son, is an MXD, economical development for the young people, so supporting a school. So thank you for everybody. Thank you for you to support us, and thank you all my colleagues and Rodriguez, everybody who has been very successful. So thank you so much.
Esther, you can hold on.
Do you mind? I believe it. To go to see them. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We'll have a box for you too. All right, the Treasurer's outstanding commitment to community service is presented to Enrique Rodriguez. Enrique Rodriguez, he complimented me on my R's, I'm trying to trill them, was born in Michoacan, Mexico. From a very young age, he dreamed of one day becoming a successful journalist and businessman. Michoacan is a popular state in the Treasurer's office. As you might have noticed, we have a few members from there. In 1985, Enrique and his family arrived as immigrants in Los Angeles. Through hard work and dedication, he overcame many obstacles to attain degrees in communications and Mexican-American studies from California State University, Northridge. After starting his career as a reporter and sports commentator in the Los Angeles and Phoenix areas, he joined Univision, local media in Chicago. For the past 19 years, he has been the news anchor and host of Al Punto Chicago. In addition to his journalistic obligations, Mr. Rodriguez invests countless hours of his free time working with the community in various capacities, including support of the Chicago Marathon. I'd say I see him at several events, but I have not seen him at the Chicago Marathon. That's just not my thing. I also want to thank him very much so for un estudiante de español. He has given me opportunities numerous times to practice my Spanish on Univision, on his show. He has been very kind and patient with a learning student. And so, Enrique, please step forward for your award.
Thank you, State Treasurer. He's too modest. I gotta tell you, the very first Spanish interview that he's ever given, and I'm very proud to say this, he gave it to Noticias Univision in Chicago, and you did a heck of a job. So you deserve it. I'll get you a copy so everybody can see it.
Maybe some of the later interviews.
Thank you. I'll be very honest with you. I feel very weird to be here because normally I'm the one recognizing people, right? And now I'm in the spotlight. Being in the spotlight and the camera is a little bit different, but I was just going back in time, and I remember my parents, as you were speaking, saying to me, Enrique, siempre ayuda a los demás sin importar a quién. Always help everybody that you can, regardless of who they are. Y sin esperar nada a cambio, and without expecting anything in return. I live up to those standards up to this very same day.
Yes!
Thank you. So, how do I do that being on TV, right? Well, it's a challenge. It is a challenge, but my job is to give our viewers a voice through the power of that microphone, and I try to do that day in and day out. But I also understand that people don't really care about how much I know until they know how much I care. So my emphasis, my focus is how do I show my community that I care? And that's the daily challenge. That's what I try to do day in and day out, working with the community in every capacity. There's a difference between what I do as a journalist to help my community and what I do in my free time to help my community. And to me, that's as important or even more. So I take that to heart. And so that's why I was very surprised to hear that I was nominated and that I'm getting this award, because I'm not used to it. Besides the Emmys, and all those awards that look good in your resume. Everybody asks me, you have 9 Emmys and 32 nominations. I'm like, you know what? They look good in the resume. They get a lot of dust at home. And they build your ego, and that's about it, right? But it feels good to be recognized. So thank you. Thank you for your commitment to educate our Latino community in such an important issue as finances. I think you and I have had incredible conversations about how important that is. I know that I've been giving you a hard time about reaching our community early. I'm very passionate about this, so forgive me if I've been too tough on you sometimes. But we just got to get that information out there to our community. Wouldn't you agree? We need to make sure that everybody's safe, that our kids go to college, and that they're financially independent. And, I'm also here because a lot of people in the community helped me out. I was an undocumented immigrant for many years, 17 years to be precise. And after my freshman year in college, I got kicked out because I wasn't a legal resident. And had it not been for my counselor and his sister, I wouldn't be here today. So I owe myself to the community. And it's time for me to pay it forward. That's what I've been trying to do for the last 19 years with the support of my family that have sacrificed a lot as well, especially my son and my wife, Olga, who is here watching. Baby, thank you for your support. I love you. And somebody once told me that leadership is all about serving your community. And so my goal is to become a better leader every day. I'm working on that. I promise you I will continue to do that. It's really an honor to get this award, especially among these great recipients as well. I gotta tell you, I have so many incredible women right next to me. My life has been influenced by 3 incredible women: my mom, my sister, and my wife. So it's really an honor to be here. Thank you. And to wrap it up, great leaders like CEO Martinez, who has a difficult job, but he's going at it. And also Carlos, thank you for your leadership and all your contributions. So thank you. Gracias.
Gracias. So Enrique said he was surprised. I'm not sure why. Because I pointed out how he's given me an opportunity to practice my Spanish on TV. But that's not why he invited me on. He invited me on because he cares about giving back to the community. And we have programs that can be of help. Helping families save for college, helping them save for their retirement, financial literacy to help them save and have a brighter future for their children with disabilities. And he has really been a great advocate in getting that message out to the community. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so the Treasurer's Outstanding Commitment and Education Award is presented to Pedro Martinez. Pedro Martinez has over 20 years of experience in the private, nonprofit, and public education sectors. Born in Mexico, Mr. Martinez came to Chicago with his family at the age of 5 in search of a better future. I don't know which state in Mexico you're from. My notes don't tell me.
Aguascalientes.
Aguascalientes. All right. Beautiful. Not very big, but beautiful.
You gotta say it Aguascalientes. Aguascalientes.
Aguascalientes.
There you go.
Okay. Yo dije que estoy aprendiendo. Cada día. The oldest of 12 children. I assume he is going to thank his mother in his speech. He credits the education he received in our public schools with changing the trajectory of his life. A proud graduate of Benito Juarez Academy in Pilsen, Mr. Martinez was the first in his family to go to college. He earned a Bachelor of Science in Accounting from the University of Illinois and an MBA from DePaul University. He then chose to dedicate his life to education. first in Texas and Nevada, and then returning to the school system of his youth as chief financial officer. 2 years ago, he began serving as the CEO of Chicago Public Schools, the third largest school district in the country. Mr. Martinez also chairs the board of directors of Chiefs for Change, a national network of superintendents committed to building a pipeline of talented, diverse K-12 leaders. CEO Martinez firmly believes that with the right supports and by setting the bar high, many more young people will aspire to perform at higher levels and go on to be successful in college, career, and civic life. Mr. Martinez, please step forward.
So again, I just want to thank Treasurer Frerichs and Deputy Treasurer Diaz for this amazing honor. I accept this honor on behalf of my students and my staff. I'm very proud of my district. I hit my 2-year anniversary in this role as the superintendent CEO for Chicago just last Friday. And I can tell you the district is a very different place than it was 2 years ago. Our district struggled, just like every other district in the country, with the pandemic, with our families, especially our families of poverty, our Latino and Black families being disproportionately affected. And yet I can tell you right now that our system is getting stronger and in many ways has never been stronger. We are in our first year. We had a 3-year blueprint, 3-year recovery. In our first year, we saw 80% of our schools make gains in literacy, 70% make gains in math. At the high school level, we're reporting that data in the next 2 weeks, and I can tell you they blew it out of the ball. So our children, we're not only seeing more children graduating, better prepared than ever, more college credit, and so great things to come. For me, this is very personal. I've been doing this now, it's actually over 30 years now, I have to update my bio. 20 years alone in education. This is my 3rd superintendency, and I've had the blessing of leading finances, leading operations, leading strategy, much of that in Chicago, but also being a superintendent across different states in Nevada, in Texas, and now here in Chicago. And for me, not only my mother, of course, who, the most devoted Catholic you're ever going to meet, who still prays to this day for all of us, but really the teachers that affected my life. Teachers that frankly didn't have the resources that we have today, and yet they saw something in me. And I always remind our teachers and principals of this. They have this superpower that they can help our children see a future that sometimes children cannot see themselves. And to your point, Treasurer, about elevating leaders now, because even as I was coming up in my career, there wasn't a lot of leaders of Latino heritage or leaders of color for that matter. And so we stand on the shoulders of many. But it's also for us, I remind my staff, teachers and principals, everybody, they do that every day. Yes. Many of you probably were affected by a teacher or a counselor or a school leader in your time. And so that's what we do every day. And so we just have to keep that up, because when we do that, they always exceed our expectations. And that's what I'm seeing today. So again, thank you for this honor. Thank you, Treasurer.
Brought your own paparazzi with you. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joe. I also want to say thank you for CPS. Is a good partner of ours with our ePay program. Yes. So, gracias. The Treasurer's Award for Outstanding Commitment as an Elected Official is presented to State Representative Elizabeth Hernandez. Elizabeth Hernandez has been a full-time representative of the 2nd District for the past 16 years, although I think the district had a different number before. She's been a representative for the last 16 years and currently serves as Deputy Majority Leader in the Illinois House. Before that, she worked in Cicero Public Schools for 17 years and was an active community volunteer. So you could have been nominated for multiple categories here today. She's a member of the Children's Center of Cicero and Berwyn, a founder of the Cicero Youth Commission, and a former member of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union. Leader Hernandez serves on the House Appropriations Committees for Elementary and Secondary Education and Higher Education, Committees for Consumer Protection and Immigration and Human Rights, as well as Labor and Commerce, Revenue and Finance, Tax Credit and Incentives, and Job Creation and Workforce Development. As if she didn't have enough on her plate. She has co-sponsored countless House bills supporting college savings, children's savings accounts, and higher education savings, as well as Illinois ABLE and Secure Choice savings programs. Not only does she help a lot of people in the state, she helps out a lot of families in the Treasurer's office as well. Leader Hernandez holds an associate degree in liberal arts from Morton College and a bachelor's in public administration from Northeastern University. She is married and the mother of 2 daughters and a son. Leader Hernandez, please step forward.
Let me start by thanking you very much for this award. Really an honor, especially during Heritage Month. It's very meaningful because the work, at least I've had the privilege of leading, really has a grand focus on this community, the Hispanic community. So thank you for this incredible award. Receiving an award, I would say, is a social responsibility because it shows us truly how far we have come. And I also want to thank you, Treasurer Frerichs. How about that Spanish? I'll tell you that, that really means a lot to the community when there's such effort like that made because you're really trying. And then on top of that, other languages really respect that highly, and you don't know how that resonates among the community. So keep it up. Although our chief educator just right next door might just give you a few little on the meanings of some of the, well, we'll talk later.
Es su nombre, no es mi.
Okay, so I want to dedicate this to my hardworking staff, this award. My community, which has supported me from my time in Cicero schools through my career in Springfield, and to all those who I have worked with over the years here in Illinois, and for making, a working, or I should say a welcoming place for the Latino community. This recognition is truly an honor, and it is reminding me of when I worked in the Cicero Public Schools and decided to run for office so I can make a difference for a better place for our boys and girls. Spent so many years fighting for them. One of the highlights I have to just, among many that we have been successful, is the RISE Act. Now, the RISE Act, which took about 5 years in the making to finally pass, gave the opportunity for undocumented students to be able to tap into scholarships because they were not able to. So that is a life changer. That's the kind of work that impacts and really begins to set the pathway to success. And what better place to start with our youth, opening up those pathways. Part of celebrating the Latino Hispanic Heritage Month is recognizing the leaders that have inspired us, like Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, who broke through many barriers to say justice, fairness, and representation matters. But it is also time to reflect on how far we still have to go. What more must we do to support the economic well-being of our Mexican, Puerto Rican, Guatemalan, and every Latino community in our state? What more must we do to support immigrants, new or longtime residents who need access to housing, healthcare, jobs, and such? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. While there is always more work to do, this award represents the progress we've made and the progress we have yet to make. I also want to share with you, just last year, I was appointed to be the first Latina chair of the Democratic Party of Illinois. I share this with whichever side, party side you may be. This is huge for a woman and Latina to be at the helm of a party that can make a difference. And so I'm very proud to say there has been progress in a year. It's been a year in August. And the journey there that I have led so far, I feel strongly we have finally moved the party in a direction that I think we will see. If we haven't seen success over the past year, we are in a pathway in a good direction where the party is going to also encounter further success. That's important. I want to thank you again, and sincerely, I look forward to continue to work with individuals right here that you see in one way or another. I have crossed pathways and have been very helpful. They have been very helpful in succeeding the successes, whether it's legislation, whether it's advocacy, or getting that representation to that where the Latino community is reflected, where it's seen that the leaders, as what it was mentioned before, matter in terms of making sure that the voice, that the representation is well heard, and I think we're in a good path. Once again, thank you for the award and appreciate this, and adelante.
Leader Hernandez mentioned the word party several times there. She didn't mention how she's going to be responsible for throwing a really large party here in Chicago next summer. We very much look forward to that. Now, after those compliments on my Spanish, creo que ahora necesito hablar en español. Pero mis notas son en inglés. Y no puedo traducir tan rápido. So I'll switch back to English, but thank you for the compliment. The Treasurer's Award for Outstanding Achievement in Workforce and Labor is presented to Jacqueline Gomez Fuentes. Jacqueline Gomez is the Executive Director of the Hispanic American Construction Industry Association, known as ASIA, an advocacy, membership, and training organization working to ensure the equitable participation of construction industry professionals. In this role, Ms. Gomez and her team advocate tirelessly for transformative and impactful policy and legislation that breaks down barriers to entry into the construction industry. Ms. Gomez brings to her position decades of experience within the business development and supplier diversity industry. She served as the Director of Supplier and Workforce Diversity for the Obama Foundation and led the Business and Workforce Diversity departments at the Metropolitan Pier and Exposition Authority. She is currently a director of the Illinois Tollway Board and a member of the City of Chicago Community Development Commission. Ms. Gomez holds a bachelor's degree in finance from the University of Illinois Chicago and a master's in business administration from National Louis University. Under her leadership, ASIA is a champion and industry leader for a thriving and growing minority construction community. Ms. Gomez, for that and all your other efforts, please step forward.
Muchas gracias. Buenas tardes. Thank you, Treasurer Frerichs, for the honor and the recognition of the impacts for the construction industries, particularly in the Hispanic community. I love that you thoughtfully thought of different industries. I don't know if you personally or maybe your staff, but still, nonetheless. I'm grateful for that, and I'm truly honored to receive this recognition. I think, Priscilla, you said it. I didn't know who else was getting an award. I didn't know I was going to be amongst such a great a fellow of recipients. And to your question, it's worse being after, because I just followed Leader Hernandez. So, I mean, but I am truly honored to receive this, and honestly couldn't have achieved this success without a strong support system, including my family, who someone made the point, they're 5 and 7. I would never bring them here, just for all of your sakes. They are in school, as they should be. And to be honest, our work doesn't feel like work when we love what we do. And I really love what I do. And I sometimes even think of work like my child, because I love it. Sometimes it's annoying, but I would never trade it. just like my children. And having children or dependents, it really takes a village. And I'm sure, Treasurer, you can relate. You can only change so many diapers without making a mess. You need a village. And having twins under the age of 6 months, it's really 2.5 months gestational period time, right? See, I remembered. It really takes a village. And so again, I think my family, my friends couldn't accomplish any of these workforce initiatives at Hacia without my strong Hacia village, which are here today. Yes, thank you. And they are truly the ones that are making the impact every day on a day-to-day basis to our Black and Brown community. So I thank them for all their hard work and their commitments. So I'm grateful for today's recognition, and congrats to also my fellow awardees. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Yes. I love that you said that.
I didn't say that to everybody.
Sorry. I was going to give it back to you.
So we'll have a box for you to take it home
Thank
with
you.
She is right. It does take a village. The reason I get to be here today is because my wife is home on maternity leave, and my parents drove up from Champaign County, Illinois, to help with the kids so that I could be here. Yes. So sometimes I stand up in front of a room. I sometimes sit in front of a camera or in front of a microphone, but there are a lot of people behind me to make that happen. Both our families and our extended families, which are our work families. All right. Dos más. The Treasurer's Award for Outstanding Achievement in Sportsmanship is presented to Grace Guerrero-Zwitt. Grace Guerrero-Zwitt is a Latina pioneer. Her story is an inspiration to Latinos, Latinas, and all women finding their way in the sports world. Over her 40 years with the Chicago White Sox, she became one of the highest-ranking women in all of baseball. Ms. Zwitt grew up not far from Old Comiskey Park in Chicago, a place that some people now call New Comiskey Park, some people call Sox Park. Some people go by the corporate name, too. She still has fond memories of attending $1 Sunday games with her father. Although I understand last Thursday you had $1 games as well, too, didn't you? It hasn't changed very much. Her father immigrated from Mexico at the age of 14. She learned much from him, especially the value of hard work. As a Spanish speaker, she was hired as a translator at a time when the White Sox were increasing their presence in international scouting and player development. Ms. Zwitt was never afraid to take on the most challenging responsibilities, taking advantage of opportunities few women had in the baseball world. She went from sitting in on budget meetings to managing the whole player development budget. As she rose through the ranks to senior director of minor league operations, she became involved in a program to teach young Latin American signees Spanish and English, and then complete an education curriculum to help them get their high school diplomas. She believes some of her greatest moments in baseball were seeing them progress both on the field and in their education, which she believes is indispensable to success in life. I will just say that Pedro received the award for education, but I think there are many people in this group here today who also could have been eligible for that award, because it really is, no matter your field, important to educate that next generation. And so for that, and for all your other accomplishments, Ms. Guerrero-Zwitt, please step forward.
I'll be short. When I was told I was receiving this, I was like, I really don't like speaking in front of a lot of people. How long do I have to do this? Thank you, State Treasurer, to staff for this honor. I, like others, was surprised I was nominated because I am retired now. But, my father, as you said, came here to the U.S. as a young teenager looking for any type of work to send money back to his family and his parents. He had very little formal education, but after marrying my mother, having 2 children, he decided at that time he was going to enroll in trade school. Still while working his job, he completed the course and was eventually hired by General Motors, retiring 37 years later. I grew up learning that hard work pays off, and you have to push through fear, doubt, and you have to believe in yourself. I had wonderful mentors while climbing the ladder at the White Sox. I did not do it all by myself. They challenged me and they believed in me. Wonderful owner, Jerry Reinsdorf. Not many places where you can say you worked 40 years. So I retired. This was my first official. I consulted with them last year. And I'm grateful and thankful. My dad, my mom, and my husband, they're all gone now, but they would be very proud of this award. My mom and dad, just knowing that I'm keeping our heritage and their legacy alive. My sons and my husband, and like you said, the village, I don't think I could have kept working had it not been for all of them pitching in and helping me. My mother was my daycare, which was a huge help because it's expensive, and I don't know that I would have been able to continue working. So thank you to everybody. I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. All right, Grace, you told people that you are retired.
I am retired.
And you had wondered why we chose you. Sometimes these awards are a Lifetime Achievement Award, and sometimes they're people in the prime of their life. But I'm also going to guess that just because you're retired from your job, you have not stopped teaching, educating, and pushing and advancing people.
I want to see the Latinos rise.
Right. Well, we have a lot of Sox fans in this office, and they would like to see the Sox rise too. I will let you Sox fans know that she retired before this season.
Yes, I did.
No responsibility for this season.
Not responsible at all.
You were with the Sox in 2005, weren't you?
Yes, I was. I have
Yes.
a ring.
She's got a ring. You don't wear it. Okay. I think the people would like to see it if
My
you
husband
did.
used to make me wear it if he knew there were Cubs fans.
We have some of them in the office as well. All right. I don't want to keep people from eating too much, but we have one more honoree to recognize. The Treasurer's Award for Outstanding Achievement in Arts and Humanities is presented to Carlos Hernandez Falcon. Carlos Hernandez directs the Puerto Rican Arts Alliance, a nonprofit arts organization which he founded in 1996. Yes. 10 years ago, he completed a $2.5 million capital campaign drive and established an expanded Puerto Rican Latino Cultural Center in the Avondale community of Chicago. Over the past 28 years, he has been actively involved in many of the Alliance's notable cultural projects, including the annual Emmy Award-winning National Cuatro Festival. Among other initiatives is El Archivo, a key program documenting the historical migration contribution of the Puerto Rican community in the Midwest. The Puerto Rican Arts Alliance was recently honored as a recipient of Chicago's Cultural Treasures Award. It has established a reputation of widening its regional arts program outreach and collaborating with other Latino as well as non-Latino communities. Mr. Hernandez is the chair of Enrich Chicago, a co-founding board member of Chicago Latino Theater Alliance, and a member of the UIC Latino Advisory Committee. He's a past director of the National Museum of Mexican Art, where he successfully managed a 52,000 square foot building construction expansion for the nation's largest Latino museum. Mr. Hernandez holds a Bachelor of Science in Business Management from Southern Illinois University and a Master's in Urban Planning and Policy from the University of Illinois Chicago. For all those accomplishments, Mr. Hernandez, please step forward.
State Treasurer, as you can see, I'm going to take credit for bringing my fan club here, and that's we've kept the spirit going on here for you. Okay, we did that intentionally. I do want to thank the State Treasurer and its advisory committee for selecting me for this award. I had no idea that I would follow such prestigious people behind me, and so I want to also thank them and congratulate them for their award. This award would not have been possible had not been for the many volunteers, my family, my board of director and staff who work very closely with me to establish the Puerto Rican Arts Alliance. I want to take this opportunity to thank my fan club, Aurora Hidalgo and Teresa Quiñones, and my husband, Willie Montes de Oca, and my sister who's here with me, Minerva Hernandez. So we did our part in filling up the room as well and bringing people here. A little bit about the Puerto Rican Arts Alliance. I founded this organization because I was born as a Latino, born and raised in Chicago, in the South Side, Woodlawn in South Chicago. We confronted a lot of discrimination. It was very, very tough during those days, and it still is to a certain degree. It hasn't gone away. My upbringing was in a very poor family. I lost my father when he was 42 years old, and we all had to go out and work and made it through college. But one of the things that struck me as I was growing up was that, during my time, as a young kid growing up in Chicago, the way Latinos were being portrayed, the way Puerto Ricans were being portrayed in the media, we were being portrayed as gangs, drug dealers, social ill problems of society, and all of that affected me. And that really did my own personal calling in starting an organization that would help young kids and create a safe space for education, for arts learning, and so people can be proud also of their culture. And so that was really the calling that I had in my lifetime when I started the Puerto Rican Arts Alliance. And I'm very proud to say that we impact over 30,000 people. 50% of that are children and youth that are involved in our music and arts education programs. It's about creating a pipeline for students to achieve in life with their education through music and arts. So I'm very proud to say that we've impacted many students over the years, and that has been really truly a blessing for me, and the biggest award that I could receive, along this one, of course. That's really been my calling in life. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the state treasurer for this award. Thank you very much. I'm not going to hold you back from your dinner or your lunch. I'm sorry, because I'm holding you back. So thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. A special thanks to members of the State Treasurer's Advisory Council. We are joined here today by Elba Arandasu. Not only does she serve as our Hispanic Advisory Committee, also serves on our Personnel Review Board. Elba, thank you very much. None of us do these things by ourselves. Hopefully we carry a cheering section with us, some with more energy than others. But whether they are loud or they are strong and silent and supporting you and having your back, the people you see here are just the heads of their fan clubs. I would once again like to thank each and every one of you for your attendance and participation here today. I'd like to express my appreciation to our staff and all those who served on the selection committee. As I said in my remarks, we had lots of accomplishments. We have some great numbers. Those numbers happen because of the people who work in this office and the work they do to make them happen. I want to say thank you to them. And they deserve a round of applause. And before we leave, may we give another round of applause for all of today's awardees. Each of them represents the best of us, and it is important that we have the opportunity. When we have it, we share roses for those who serve our communities while they're alive and well. So please join us for some refreshments outside. We have some great food out there. I will warn you in advance, we're going to take some pictures here. But if you go and you fill your plate and you're carrying it around 1:20, a lot of cell phones are going to go off with alarms. That's right. Do not spill the food on the ground. I'm warning you in advance, this is a planned alert system going out. So won't be surprised when 50 cell phones here start blaring. So with that, once again, muchas gracias. Buenas tardes.